There may be difficulties working with transparent resin, but it is some of the most rewarding epoxy work you can do. Join me as I walk you through how I poured this 9-foot resin table and the steps I took to finish it. I jumped ahead on this one, but I'll catch you up to speed real quick. I'm working with 2 figured maple wood slabs that I already made the trim cuts on and got prepped for the epoxy pour. After surfacing the top and bottom of each slab flat, I sealed them off with epoxy resin. This helps ensure that during the main resin pour, air won't leach out of the wood slabs into the resin areas, creating microbubbles. After the epoxy cured, I roughed up the slabs to 120 grit so that the deep pour resin can properly bond to it. Using silicone, I seal off the epoxy dams on both ends of the table and then seal off the sides so that resin won't leak out. The wood slabs are laying flat on sheets of polypropylene plastic, which resin doesn't bond to and can easily be separated once it cures. You could also use house wrap tape or poly tape on the surface that you're going to pour the resin on because it won't stick to that either. Now I'm ready to mix up the resin. I'm using a deep pour resin from easypourepoxy.com that I'm mixing in a blue and green dye to get a nice teal look. In total, I mixed up 15 gallons of resin for the entire table pour. When pouring the resin, I try to be as gentle as I can, but it's impossible not to have air bubbles mix in during the pour. When using a deep pour resin, you don't have to worry about those micro bubbles because they will rise to the top surface and pop on their own. I was able to pour all the resin at once because it was only 1 3/4 inches deep. If it was thicker than that, I would have done it in 2 separate pours, but I wasn't worried about overheating on this one. Once I'm finished with the largest area of resin, I move on to filling in any inclusions or cracks on the top surface of the slabs. And I always make sure to fill up all the resin areas slightly over the top of the surface of the wood. In my opinion, it's better to have it a little overfilled than underfilled. Using a propane torch, I go ahead and pop some of the bubbles resting on the top surface. The remainder of those will pop on their own overnight. I let this resin cure for around 7 days before popping it loose of the pour table. The epoxy dams wrapped in poly tape and the silicone separate from the cured resin easily. Using wood shims, I start to separate the resin table from the polypropylene sheets underneath. It doesn't take much force to loosen up the bond between the resin and the polypropylene plastic. Using a crowbar, I just gently separate the two and it pops loose. After surfacing the top and bottom to remove any excess resin, I can start the sanding process. Using a direct drive sander with 80 grit sandpaper, I remove the step over lines or any marks left behind from the surfacing. It doesn't take long with a direct drive sander to remove those marks, and then I can move on to a random orbit later on. Once I'm finished with rough sanding, I can make my trim cuts. I prefer to use a plunging track saw with a fine-tooth blade so it doesn't chip away at the epoxy. If you didn't have a track saw, you could use a circular saw with a level as a guide to get a straight cut. After trimming, I finish the bottom to 400 grit and then flip it back over and continue working on the top surface. Using a random orbit sander, I start with 80 grit and work my way up to 400. Once I reach 220 grit, I find that it's important to clean the surface in between each pass of sanding. That helps keep epoxy dust from building up on your sandpaper, leaving behind marks as you sand. Once I'm finished with 400 grit, I go ahead and raise the grain using water and then repeat the 400 grit sanding process one last time. This ensures that the surface will be smooth when you apply your finish. Once I'm finished sanding, I clean the entire surface with a cloth, removing any dust or debris left behind, and then give it an air bath with compressed air. For this table, I'm using an oil wax finish that works well with hardwoods, and you can apply multiple coats to get a robust finish. When using oil wax, the first coat that you apply always requires the most amount. The wood slabs soak it in like a dry sponge, so I'll apply as much as needed, being very generous with it until there are no more dry spots. Normally I would wet sand and polish the resin areas after the finish cures, but on this one the client requested a matte finish because it's going to get a lot of heavy usage. High gloss resin does look amazing, but it is more prone to surface scratches and wear and tear. After thoroughly working in the oil wax, I remove any excess with a cotton cloth. Once this initial coat cures, I can rough it up with Scotch-Brite and apply additional coats and repeat as necessary. There are a ton of options out there when it comes to finishing your hardwoods, but I enjoy the look and feel of the oil wax combo the best. This type of finish is popular for hardwood floors, and as you can imagine, that gets the most amount of wear and tear of any furniture in your house. It holds up great against heavy usage, protects against UV damage and moisture, and can be renewed easily. So long as it doesn't acquire heavy, deep scratches, you can rough up the surface again using the Scotch-Brite and wipe on another coat of this oil wax finish, and once again it looks brand new. There just aren't too many finishes out there that are that easy to retouch. I know this was a shorter video and I jumped around a bit, but I hope that you learned something from it and enjoyed the process. If you do have any questions about it, just go ahead and leave it in the comment section and I'll try to answer each one. I work on a huge variety of resin projects, so if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and go to my YouTube channel at Jeremy Elkins where you'll see all the other ones uploaded. As always, it was a pleasure making this video and that I hope to see you on the next one. My name is Jeremy Elkins with Untreated Art. Thank you for watching.